Hi, this is Harriet Richard. I'm beginning this screencast on what's in the syllabus that's important. This is just kind of to help students understand what I am asking for. Um, just a little overview. Won't take very long. All right, I am Harriet Richard. I'm Associate Professor of Psychology at Johnson C. Smith University in Charlotte, North Carolina. And what's important in the syllabus, of course, my name, so that you know who you're looking for, whose office hours you're concerned with, whose phone number you need to look up in terms of the person's office hours, and the location of their office. All of that information is on the syllabus. The objectives are there, they're extensive, but the top two or three, pay attention to those so you'll know kind of where we're going in the course. The grading information, which is primarily what students are concerned with, of course, is what assignments are important. Well, you know what I'm going to say. All assignments are important. Yes, they are. They all help determine your grade. Now, how much time you devote to them, maybe you can hedge that, by, well, this is only worth, the concept map is only worth 5 or 10 points out of 1,000. But this lab report that I am to give is worth 100 points. So maybe I need to spend more time on that than the concept map from week to week. That's an assessment that you can make, but you still need to complete the assignments. Do you get credit? Do I give credit for late work? I give credit for late work up until 1 week after it's due. If it's in on time, you get full credit, whatever you earn. If it's 5, 10 minutes late because we've already started talking about the material, then you get half of what you earn. So if you earn an 80, you end up with a 40. And that's whether it's 10 minutes or 15 minutes late or 6 days late. So please get your work in on time. Do I give makeup tests? No, don't give makeup tests. I don't want to have to determine if it was legitimate or not in terms of your missing class. I assume that students work hard, try to get their information on time. I know that life comes to bear sometimes when there's some things that happen to you and you may miss a test. But instead of giving you an essay test, which is really not fair if everybody else had a multiple choice test. But anyway, instead of giving you a test after everyone's taken the test, I'll just average the test before it and the test after it. And that number is what will go in place of the test that you missed. Look at the point totals for the semester in terms of, is it 1,000? By midterm, we should be somewhere around 500 or 400 because in intro I do give points for attendance and participation. So pay attention to those kinds of things to make sure that you are, in fact, doing your best work and getting the credit that you should be getting. Make sure that when you upload assignments to the eCampus site, that it's uploaded. There's a way you can look. You can look to see if it has been uploaded. That's really important. The other question that's often asked is, what do I, need to do to pass your class? First of all, you do have to buy and read the textbook. Most textbooks now cost somewhere around $140, but you can get a digital version for $20 to maybe $50, depending on what ancillary materials come with that. There may be a study guide, flashcards, those kinds of things. But most books are under $100 and probably under $50 when they are digitized. See me early in the semester if you're having problems, if you don't understand some of the concepts. My tests are typically applied. So I'm not going to ask you for rote memorization, the kinds of things that you might have done in high school. I'm going to ask you to take the concept and apply it in your life or somebody else's life, or give me an example of something that occurred in your life that illustrates this particular concept. Read the chapter in the intro text 3 times. Well, okay, at least twice. It's a lot better when you have read the chapter and you come to class and we can discuss it. That's why I have the intro folks do concept mapping. That way you understand the relationship between the concepts and in the textbook and how it relates to psychology. Complete assignments, complete them thoroughly, and complete them on time. They usually have 2 or 3 parts. It's not just I can write a quick answer, one sentence. No. I might ask you to apply a theory to a particular item. For instance, if with Piaget, who's, children in terms of child development, who taught us that children think differently, I might say, well, in order to be the best aunt or uncle, what gift would you give your niece who's 10 for Christmas? And you would use Piaget's theory to back that up. So you tell me what the theory says the niece or nephew should be doing at that time, or the kinds of things they should be interested in. Then you would tell me what you bought and tell me how that illustrates that principle. So you really have to kind of think about it and write it down and put it in your own words. Do not plagiarize. Don't go Google it. And because I can Google too, and then I'll see it, and then you'll get a 0. We don't want that. All right. And the last thing, like I said, again, turn them in on time. The most important thing about the syllabus and the classwork is you need to believe you can do the work. It's not real hard. It may be a little bit more than you are used to. You may be thinking about new concepts, there may be new terms, but you can master it. I'm sure you can. Complete the work to the best of your ability, because you will get the grade you earn. And if you're having problems or difficulty, email me as quickly as possible to try and get things cleared up. The first test, we will go over it in class. The ones after that, we will not. But as I say to my students, you should always go and find out what you made on the test. Go over the test with the professor so you won't make those same kinds of mistakes. So you'll know if it was something that you read or you misinterpreted, or if it was, you all talk about us doing trick questions. We do not give you trick questions. But anyway, but go over the information with the professor so that you can know that you have, done a good job. So thank you. And that is it. We are finishing, and I'm probably going to finish this cleaner